Hiya, Jimmy.
Hi, old timer.
Say.
Just give me the drink, will you?
You bet your life, Jimmy.
Jimmy Ringo. Well, what do you know?
Nice to see you again, Jimmy.
You don't look so tough to me.
Well, if he ain't so tough, there's been an awful lot of sudden natural deaths in his vicinity.
I bet he ain't as fast as Wyatt Earp.
Dodge City, places like that, they say he is. But, oh, now, wait a minute, Eddie. You ain't thinking of doing nothing foolish, are you?
You mean you're so tough I can't even talk to him?
I mean, this ain't no joke, boy. That's a real mean man there.
But, Eddie, I wouldn't do it if I was you.
How about a drink, Mr. Frazzlebottom?
Eddie, please.
Please what? I asked the man to have a drink with me. What's wrong with that? How about it, Mr.
Okay, partner.
Don't you understand, Eddie? This is Jimmy Ringo.
So what's everybody supposed to do, fall on their knees?
You can be a little polite, at least.
Mr. Ringo, Chuck figures you got a little extra consideration coming to you around here. Is that right? How's that, Mr. Ringo? You'll have to speak up if you want me to hear you.
Why don't you button up your britches and go home?
How'd you like to try to make me, Mr. Ringo?
I come in here minding my own business. You just bought me a drink. Now I'll buy you one and then we'll drop it. What do you say? Give him a drink for me.
Never mind the drink. I want to know what you meant by that remark you passed.
What are you trying to do? Show off in front of your friends?
Are you ready to back up that remark or not?
Ain't some of you fellas in charge of this donkey?
Eddie don't mean no real harm, Mr. Ringo.
Let Eddie keep his big, ugly nose out of my business if he don't want it slapped.
He drew first.
You see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
I'd get on out of town anyway if I was you, because he's got 3 brothers that ain't gonna care who drew first.
All right. Everybody stay where you are.
He can't be more than an hour ahead of us.
All right, put up your hands. Now, drop your guns. Right out there where I can see them. Back up. Right back there. You got about 3 hours walk back to Santa Fe.
I'm warning you, Ringo. We're gonna get you yet. You had no right to throw down on a boy like Eddie.
What was I supposed to do? Stand there and let that little boy shoot me full of holes? Now, come on, get out of here.
He's heading straight for Cayenne.
Jimmy Ringo, by the Mint Saloon in Dodge City. You and Bucky Harris used to come here nearly every night, don't you remember?
Did we ever get a drink?
Hey, remember now?
Yeah, I remember now. What about something to eat? You got a cook around?
What do you want, some eggs?
You got a steak?
Yeah, I got a steak.
I'll take a steak and some eggs and a pot of black coffee. Got a place to wash up first.
Right out on the back porch here. I'll show you.
Never mind, I can find it.
Tell the marshal that Jimmy Ringo is here and hurry.
Was it really him?
Go on, I tell you, run.
Marshal, Jimmy Ringo's here, Marshal.
Where?
In the Palace Bar.
Where is he?
Out on the back porch getting cleaned up. I ain't after any trouble.
Just take it easy and don't try to jump him. Hiya, Jimmy.
Mark. Oh, you son of a gun. How are you, partner?
I'm fine, Jimmy.
Are you joking?
Nope. I'm the marshal here now. I just want you out of town anyway.
Coffee ready, Mr. Ringo.
Thank you, lady. Looks to me like you got a gossip on your staff.
That's your public, Jimmy. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? Top gun of the West. You don't sound as happy about it as you did the last time I saw you. How many is it now, 11? What's the trouble now, Jimmy?
You know why I come here, don't you? How is she?
Fine.
And the boy?
Getting on fine.
I want to see her, Mark. Where can I find her?
You got another name now and another life.
Because I ain't leaving here till you get a hold of Peggy for me.
And what if she don't want to talk to you?
Just leave it to her. That's all I ask.
Mark. How does he look?
Oh, just about the same, I guess. A little older, a little tireder.
Tell him I'm very sorry.
Nothing doing, Jimmy. She says she's sorry, but that's all there is to it.
How does she look, Mark?
Oh, just about the same, I guess. A little older, but just as pretty.
Did you see my boy?
Nah, he's on the loose today. You moving on now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Jimmy! didn't know you were here, Jim.
You must be about the only one in town that didn't.
Look, you want me to talk to Peg?
Well, Mark already talked to her. She said no.
You stay right here. I'll get her for you.
Jimmy Ringo.
Uh-huh. What in the name of thunder is Jimmy Ringo doing in Cayenne?
Sitting right up there at the Palace Bar.
Now?
Yeah, we just left him there.
What does he look like?
He's a kind of a natural man. He don't look much different from a lot of other fellas.
Oh, he's got two hands, just like anybody else. Somebody's gonna make a big name for himself by proving that's all he's got.
This whiskey's been watered. No, it ain't, Hunt. You know I don't water my whiskey. I've never done that my whole life.
I want you to give everybody in this room a drink out of that same bottle, and let's see what they got to say about it.
Hunt, there ain't a thing in the world the matter with this whiskey.
Did you hear what I said or not?
I heard.
And don't forget the gentleman at the table. I'd like to have his opinion, too.
Please, Hunt, let's don't have no trouble here now.
I'll ask him myself. I want you to settle a little argument, Mr. Ringo.
Why should I?
Quite a reputation for settling arguments, haven't you?
Only my own.
Well, you could say this one included you in a way. I say Mac waters his whiskey. Taste this and tell me what you
Don't
think.
trouble yourself.
You ain't very sociable, are you? Maybe if you got to know me a little better.
I don't have to know you any better. Looks to me like there's a squirt like you in every town in the West. Now get away from here.
You're asking for trouble, Mr. Ringo.
But you already got it, because I got a gun on you under this table. And it's pointing smack at your belly. Now, you gonna get out of here or not?
We heard a lot about you around here, but I guess they forgot to tell us about the gun under the table.
Now, turn around and head for the door. Keep moving and don't do anything sudden with your hands.
I'll be seeing you, Mr. Ringo.
All the way outside, Sonny.
Have you talked to him?
I just left him. Why don't you see him, if only for a few minutes? He's different.
How different?
You know, not wild anymore. But I liked it. Is it somebody else, Peggy?
Well, of course not.
Then it's still Jim, isn't it?
You got a fresh one here?
I guess so. Why?
Have him at the back door of the palace in about 15 minutes, saddled up with Ringo's stuff. Come on, Jimmy.
Jim, got a minute or two?
I come here just to see you, you know. Well, it's all right now. How's Jimmy?
Oh, he's a little wild, like all kids, but he's a good boy.
Want to get out of this part of the country. See if we can't find us a little ranch, maybe. You and me and Jimmy. All of a sudden, I knew this was the only thing in the world I wanted. You and me and Jimmy, together on a little place somewhere.
It's a wonderful idea, Jim. Well, it's too late.
Don't you love me?
You didn't have to ask that, Jim.
I've changed, you know.
I'd go with you this very minute, anywhere in the world you wanted to go. But it's not just you and me. There's Jimmy, too.
Oh, we can take him with us.
No, Jim. Oh, we could run and hide and dodge the law all the rest of our lives.
Jimmy, give me another minute, will you? Just one more minute.
Somebody's after you.
Never mind that. Listen, a year from now, if I come back, if I've been all right the whole year, but you gotta say you'll talk to me about it again.
I will.
Where are you, Grandma?
Now, look, Jimmy.
Now, listen to me, Mark. You got to have 5 minutes more.
What do you want 5 minutes more for?
I want to see my kid.
No, no, Jim,
Now,
you
look,
can't
you
do that.
dumb cow.
I'm sorry, but my mind is made up. And I don't care if there's 300 brothers.
Can you hurry it up?
I'll try.
Thought Jimmy Ringo was in here.
He was here all morning. Had a drink right there where you're standing now.
Ain't left town, has he?
Not yet. He got held up back there.
Now, I'll tell you what I wanted with you. You see them kids out front?
Yes, sir.
Well, why ain't they in school?
We come down to see what's going on.
You get them boys out of there the way Mark Strett would, you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's a good boy.
That's all right, partner. Looks like you're gonna make it after all.
Here he comes.
What you fellas doing up there?
Drop them guns. Drop.
Is that you, Charlie?
These the fellas you meant?
These them?
Yeah, that's 2 of them. I told you fellas you was wasting your time. Much obliged, Charlie. So long, fellas.
How about it, Ringo?
I ought to give him this square on the belly, both barrels. You gotta be chicken.
What problem you got, Ringo?
Please, no, please. We gotta go back, please.
We got the doctor coming. Just lay still and you'll be all right.
That boy.
We got him, son. He ain't getting away with it.
No, I drew first.
And I seen who drew first.
You heard what I said, Mark. I drew first.
You don't have to do me no favors, Pappy.
Keep your mouth shut.
I want you to go on being a big, tough gunny. I want you to see what it means to have to live like a big, tough gunny. Wait.
I'm awful sorry, but there ain't no more room, Mrs. Walsh.
Is Mark inside?
Well, yes, and he's inside.
Will you tell him Mrs. Ringo would like to see him?
Yes. Mrs. Jimmy Ringo.
Mrs. Jimmy Ringo.
And his boy.